Drink in the Style was recorded in front of a live studio audience. If you enjoy the program, please subscribe and then leave a 5-star review. Anything less than that, keep your mouth shut and you're dead to me.
Here we sit enjoying the shade.
Hey, brother, pour the wine.
Drink the drink that I have made.
Hey, brother, pour the wine.
Welcome, everybody, to Drink in the Style Live. Brought to you by 9 Mile Gallery, Habitation Design, and the District Edina. I am your host, Gregory Rich, with my special guest star co-host, Kenneth Janiga.
Thank you.
Those of you who aren't watching us on YouTube are really losing out, because Kenneth is a charming and lovely young man.
Well, I appreciate it, brother.
Fair enough. Welcome to the program, everybody. Tonight's themes are publishing and art. Two very different things, but I think you're going to enjoy it a great deal. Our first guest is 9 Mile Gallery artist Mary Catherine Solberg. Mary, how are you? I didn't even have to raise my glass for that. I've trained the studio audience to applaud. You ready? Here we go. Extra drinks for everybody. Well done.
All right.
Well,
can you hear me okay?
Oh, that's better. Are you on?
Am I on?
You're on.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Mary's going to be our guest for the first half of the show, and then we have none other than Caitlin Bloomquist from Green Spring Media joining us for the second half. Caitlin's in the back of the audience. We're not going to applaud yet because I'm not burning all my energy, but we love you, and we look forward to having you here. Did that not go so well?
It went fine. It went
Thanks.
Good.
Totally appreciate it.
We're done now?
Our drinks, yeah, you did great. Our drinks are being prepared, though, and this is exciting as can possibly be, by none other than Brian Goff from Scarlet Red Vodka. Brian, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
In fairness, Brian has been pouring drinks for us for the past hour here in 9 Mile Gallery's event space, so frankly, we're all drunk, right? All right, that means we need to do more work. So be it. Brian, my friend, you have talked about a couple of drinks. You've served us some great stuff to begin with. First and foremost, tell us about Scarlet Red Vodka, and then tell us what you're making.
Wonderful. Thank you very much to everybody. And Greg, you look beautiful. Thank you very much. And Kenneth. Scarlet Red Vodka was born out of the opulence of the Great Gatsby era. Favorite movie of all time.
Great
and the
time.
name Scarlet, none other than Scarlett Johansson or Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind was my inspiration. And the first drink that I created is called Scarlet Red Spritz. And what I liked about it is it can be sugar-free, and who doesn't like a sugar-free drink?
I hate so much sugar. I mean, it is a stand against American sweet teeth to bring something that is liquor-oriented. I commend you for that, right?
Yes, because, you can always add sugar to it, but, it's hard to take it away.
Enjoy the liquor. Don't have to hide it under endless seas of sugar.
Drink it straight. That's what I say. On the rocks, neat.
Couldn't agree more. All right. Scarlet
Red Spritz, which basically is what I always think of. Think of 131. Go back to grade school, think of 131. Well, maybe that's not the best analogy when you're thinking of alcohol in grade school, but think of like the mathematics from
alcohol is why we skipped grade school.
Early on in your kindergarten. You can think of 131. So I always like to say, hey, 1 ounce of Scarlet Red Vodka, crisp, clean, no aftertaste. It's amazing, right? 1 ounce of Scarlet Red Vodka. That's about an ounce right there.
It looks solid to me.
And then what I like to do is 3 ounces of club soda, because 131 is great. 3 ounces of club soda, 1, 2, that's about 3 ounces right there.
Fair. Well done. Well done.
And then what I like to use is a non-sugar added cranberry, and I like to put 1 ounce in there, and that's about an ounce.
So 131 versus like a ladder system of cocktail which is 3, 2, 1, right?
Exactly. It's just think of it as 1, 3, 1.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then we like to add a little fresh lime, fresh lemon. You're going to add about a half a lime juice, half a lemon juice. And what I like to do is just stir that up first. You don't have to add your garnish, but just stir that up so if you have a big party and you want to make 10 cocktails for somebody, have it in that pitcher ready to go, and then have your glass full of ice. Pour them all, and then add your garnish because your juice is already in there. Add your fresh lime, fresh lemon, and your mint to finish it off.
The garnish picks it up, right? It becomes fresh based on the freshness of the fruit, even if you pre-batch the cocktail.
Exactly.
See, I've done this once or twice.
Amazing.
All right, so mix it up, and you're not muddling in any way.
No, you're not going to muddle this because this isn't like a mojito. You're going to add that mint on the top just for a little bit of the smell because you actually taste with your nose. And then a little bit of the oil will go into that juice. And that's enough. That's all it's there for. And once you have that, you just stir that and then just, pour it. Just enjoy.
And it's a great spring and summer cocktail.
You can drink it all the year round.
Love it.
Indeed. Those will be delivered to the audience in just moments, seconds. Okay, fabulous. Cocktails coming shortly?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you. Wonderful. All right, you guys, you're going to get to enjoy this cocktail in just a moment or two. Brian is working on it, and then we'll check in and enjoy. Let's talk to Mary. Mary, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? Can you hear me okay? I moved it, so.
Fabulous. So, Mary, you are one of the artists in 9 Mile Gallery, correct?
That is correct.
And you have been a creative part of the Minneapolis arts community for a few years.
Also correct.
Introduce yourself to our audience in general.
So, hello, audience. I'm Mary Catherine Solberg, and I've been in the Minneapolis community for about 10 years. I have a studio at the Casket Arts building. I feel extremely fortunate to be here at 9 Mile Gallery. It's a gorgeous space, and among these other artists, very proud of that. I've been painting or acting artist, I guess you would say, for a little over 20 years now. It's not always been my life, but I've been fortunate enough to have it be my career for some time now.
And you are unbelievable.
Thank you.
So, you are shown in a number of different areas. You're one of the darlings of the Minneapolis art community, I dare say.
I'll take that.
Why wouldn't you? How do you describe your current art? How do you describe, where you began?
It's more just a description of the art.
Talk about because you have various series. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about series of art and themes, but talk about what is the nature of your creative process and what you're doing.
Well, first, I think I'll start with, I have kind of a tagline. I had to come up with something that fit so many words, and so I came up with this, and it's I'll just go for it. So it's bold, iconic, figurative work inspired by the masters, religious iconography, and circus sideshow banners.
That is an amazing description. That is an amazing description, Mary.
Wow, well done.
That's it. That's what I do.
Because it is true. And
kind of works.
Right? And you can check it, by the way, 9milegallery.com or MaryCatherineSolberg.com, I
Catherine
assume,
Solberg, yes.
to take a look at the work. But it is. And when I first met you, the thing that grabbed me was the gold embossed halo-like effect that you are so well known for. It's iconography, obviously, but is that literally what brought you into your first iteration of art?
Yeah, so I was actually raised in a big Catholic family, and I went to school, grade school through college, and I'm still recovering from that.
By the way, I have to chime in. Mary had this unbelievable piece in the gallery that was purchased. What was it? It was the Wizard of Oz one with all the Catholic.
Actually, that one was called Catholic Schoolgirl.
Yes. Once you see Catholic schoolgirl and it's on your if you grew up Catholic,
yes,
yeah,
and so I do some of my work, or a lot of my work is very layered, and and I include just a lot of imagery and that kind of peeks through. And this particular piece is 4 foot by 5 foot, and it's called Catholic Schoolgirl, and it's this pretty beleaguered looking woman with a Peter Pan collar, which is a theme that comes through my work. I had to wear a uniform. And in the background, it's like stand in line, don't do this. And then there's all these other imageries that are very highly sexualized. And so it's just this childhood of getting all of these mixed messages, and the contradictory, images. So it's kind of about that.
Another fabulous thing the Catholic Church has given us overall, your art.
How did you arrive to developing that style, or choosing that direction versus other maybe emotions that you felt or other experiences that you had in life?
Well, I think my first sort of idea as a child of beauty was from the churches, the beautiful. And then as I got to know more about art and the Renaissance, I mean, it comes from a true affection for the beauty and the quality of the art. So I really wanted to emulate that and to try to the extent that I possibly could, attempt to do art like that. But I also have a sort of sense of irony, maybe perhaps a sense of humor.
You are a Gen Xer.
And maybe a little anger, a little, I have a lot of swirling emotions. And I sorry. Well, might be a better way of putting it. I mean, there's a lot of good things to take away from it, and I have the art, for sure. So I like to take that iconography and use it to elevate, the common person, or even in some cases little animals, chipmunks, whatever, So I think everyone is sacred, So.
All right, so you are well known for one of your more humorous pieces, which is a gopher eating a candy corn.
Yes.
I mean, what the heck? And you're welcome, Johnson, because I know you don't have a dump button, but it wasn't going to be hack.
I appreciate that.
All part of the service to you, my friend. So the gopher eating a candy corn, where does that come from?
So I actually have done more than one gopher with candy corn and groundhogs.
Who among us has not?
My brother was a wildlife photographer, so I have a huge stock of these fabulous intimate portraits of these small critters that are full of expression, believe it or not. And so I have these images to work from. And then I don't know how I came up with the candy corn. I've just always thought that candy corn was a very weird thing. I mean, if you put it on your dashboard, 30 years later, it'll still be there completely looking the same way. So, but I had this idea that a gopher would find that to be quite the prize. Oh, thank you. Cheers.
Salud!
So I did a series of these icons of gophers and groundhogs, which are generally holding a piece of candy corn, and
it is the most Minnesota Catholic art collection you will ever possibly see. It is fabulous. All right.
Somehow I feel like candy corn and Catholic background have something in common.
Well,
there's some sort of analogy there.
There's. Well, I used to go trick-or-treating, and candy corn was always Actually, to be honest...
Do you like candy corn?
No, I hate it.
You hate candy corn?
I hate candy corn. I actually don't like candy. So when I went trick-or-treating, that's something that we don't do anymore for, sadly. It's a dangerous thing to do. But when I was a kid, it was still a thing. I would trade for peanuts or popcorn or salty things.
Oh, that is bad. For peanuts.
Yeah. It was the best part of Halloween.
Sad,
the trading at the end. It really, really was. We used to. This is so sad. We live in a really nice area in Wayzata, and back in the day, we used to all the neighborhood kids would pile in the back of this wonderful little wagon thing with wheelbarrows, and we would drive down to the headwaters at Gray's Bay. And then we would turn the children loose to run from house to house while we would drink on the thing, slowly working our way back. It was absolutely fabulous, but eventually it did die away.
Yeah, I think the razors and the... Yeah, whatever. I mean, there were some bad things happen.
This is true.
Forgive
but
me for that.
Nevertheless, you have a fabulous collection of animals eating candy corn
Yes, I do.
and other such
Yes,
pieces.
I do. And
As well as swim caps. You also have a series based on women in swim caps.
yeah, and I think I'd call... So I have, like, I would say... 4 major collections or categories of my work that it's not like I'm really contrived about putting them in the categories, but they tend to be the swim girls, the animals, the icons, and what I call reflections, which are the more recent layered works. So, and some of them are crossovers, and there can be a gopher that's a icon and a reflection. And an animal, and possibly a swim girl. It could be,
Gophers and swim caps is
Yes.
your next upcoming series.
That could be.
You heard it here first.
But the swim girls are. I guess I'm basically a portrait artist, and that's what I enjoy doing. And I definitely do portraits of real people. I see some of my models out there right now.
As you can
Yes.
come through. This is beautiful.
And but I also I draw from like the Renaissance and from different Da Vinci, for example, and I may do just what I'm trying to create is sort of an attitude or a feeling or an emotion, and usually with the swim girls. And they're big. They're usually like 4 or 5 feet tall, and they're very. I would say I'd like to think they were sort of Renaissance looking. That's my
They're totally
goal to
Renaissance
achieve.
looking.
They have kind of a fresco-like appearance. But then I put a vintage swimming cap on them, which I then do some texture with and have some fun with.
And you do. Your most of your work is dimensional as well.
Yeah.
And that's unusual. I want to ask you this because whenever someone comes into the gallery and you start talking about your work, one of the things that I talk about is the fact that you start from a black canvas in most cases, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Right. Talk about that.
So, yeah, that's just kind of the way I've always done it. So one of my major techniques, and I've developed this technique over time, and again, it's the point of it was to try to emulate some of this sort of the chiaroscuro that sort of get a 3-dimensional looking face on a 2-dimensional canvas. And for me, the best way to achieve it, well, first I usually work on a canvas or panel, and I put plaster down just to give some dimension or some other ways of just just giving some texture, I guess, for the background. And then I usually paint it a very dark or even a black, gesso. So
all right. So you've got your canvas. You're putting down plaster. You're creating. You're like troweling and creating depth. You
Yes.
have no idea what's going to come from it, right?
Right.
And
or
then
how
you
that's
paint it
gonna-
a dark color. Look at it.
Yeah. Then that's when I start with the sketching, and I use a white pencil or a white charcoal, or instead of a black, because I wouldn't see what I did.
It would be an unwise choice.
Right. So, and then I kind of work bringing the lights out, and that's just my process. It's always been that way. I've always preferred working from dark to light. So, and I think and I think that it just gives. And for me, it just works to give more dimension and have kind of that ancient feel that I'm kind of going for. I guess.
And it is. I mean, if you take a look, you've got the troweled space, you've got it literally, you are working in reverse. You are creating images out of darkness instead of placing images on a white blank canvas. Is that a fair thing to say?
That's a fair thing to say.
Yeah,
I like to do things backwards. I do.
Fair enough. All right, let's take another quick break, or our first quick break, by the way, because bills must be paid. And when we come back, we're going to be talking more about some of the future series and pieces of art that you might have interest in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drink in the Style Live. Again, I do like that power. We'll be back in just a moment or two. Stick with us.
Make me sway like the lazy ocean hugs the shore. Hold me close.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Drink in the Style Live. That was freaking awesome. You actually launched before I raised my drink. That is audience involvement, and well done. Thank you. Wait, here it is. I'm Gregory Rich. My co-host is Kenneth Zuniga. Kenneth, how are you?
I'm doing excellent, Greg. This lovely crowd, and we have the amazing Mary here with us.
How true it is. But much as we love Mary, we need to pay some deference to you, my friend. Kenneth, who are you and why are you currently co-host of Drink in the Style Live?
I drew a number out of this hat that Greg was carrying around this previous event we were at, and I just got lucky.
BS. You dropped your card into a Subway free sandwich thing.
Somehow it was luck.
No, Kenneth is an amazing person, a good friend of the District Edina. You've done amazing things like organize Telemundo's Emerging Chicano Artist event, correct?
That's right, yeah. That was the first event that was hosted here, and thank you so much for having us that time.
It was absolutely fabulous. And the Latin fashion show.
That's right.
Was through there. So, yes. So, Kenneth Zuniga is
event producer, marketing, a jack of all trades. What do you need help with? Just let me know. I got you. Like, what do you need? If I don't know it or I don't have it, I'll know somebody that does.
Actually, that is 1,000% true. It is true. He's one of those people. So thank you for being the co-host, and
thanks for
yay to Kenneth Zuniga.
Thank you.
Are you done talking about yourself?
After Mary, maybe we can have some extra time. I don't know.
Keep talking.
What do we got, 10 minutes left, give or take?
Keep talking, Kenneth.
Okay, so Mary Catherine Solberg, our guest at the moment. Let's talk more about art in the sense of inspiration. Because here's the deal. I'll set the table on this. We talked about your critter art, if you will. We talked about your beautiful women in swim caps. We've talked about, you did an amazing Frank Sinatra. You've done a Marilyn Monroe, all these things. Where do you get your inspiration? Where the heck? Can I say hell on radio, Johnson?
Yes.
All right, where the...
He's pushing the envelope here.
You're supposed to learn to make a beep noise. We'll fix it. All right. Where do you get your inspiration?
All over the place. I mean, pop culture, everyday living, my memories, my past, things that I love. You know, the like I said, the great artists of all time, the Renaissance. You know, there isn't a day that goes by that I'm not looking at art, whether it's in an actual gallery or just, you know, on social media or whatever. I'm just always... And then also there's art everywhere. I mean, everywhere you go, on the side of trains, just advertising, everything. So I pull from everywhere, really.
All right, so you're wondering... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, has there ever been a moment or place or person or anything that inspired you and surprised you, that you find yourself being surprised by it inspiring you?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I actually am always open to trying new techniques, and I think that I'm not even sure if I can be really specific about what I saw, but I have sort of changed my direction just a little bit. sort of happened around COVID time, but it's I find that just the straight portraiture that I feel I need to put more information in, so I'm just adding more and more layers, and in that process I'm kind of subtracting more, possibly from that image or that portrait. So I'm kind of going a little more abstract than I ever thought I would. I'm a very, disciplined draftsperson in terms of doing my portraits and drawings, and I'm getting away from that a little bit. I mean, it's still there.
Really?
But, yeah.
I mean, you've always had some kind of physical representation that you're creating, and now you're going abstract?
Well, I think that would be too bold of a statement, but I'm kind of going a little more in that direction, though. I'm finding I'm having more fun with the backgrounds and with the sort of more abstract qualities, and playing with that more and the texture. So I didn't expect that, because I'm just all about the drawing and I'm all about the portrait, So.
All right, this is news. You guys don't realize it. This is breaking news. Mary Solberg does not do abstract. Mary Solberg is thinking about a whole new series. So as you're going to approach it, are you going to work from reality backwards, or are you going to create something out of the ether?
Well, I think that it's a little bit of both. I think, reality sort of gives me that inspiration, but then how I express, because I'm expressing like memories and thoughts and images and just fast-paced ideas, and so it's really hard to express that in a really, I guess, in a linear way. It feels better to just be a little messier about it, and that's something I'm not used to doing, and so I don't know where that'll go.
That's insane. That is totally outside of your purview.
It
You
really
like to
is.
keep things
Yeah.
controlled
Very
and
much
within.
so.
You even do the halos so that you can control the
I'm
energy
extremely
of the
controlled about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, we'll see. I mean, but I'm finding more and more that I'm enjoying that, though. So we'll see.
This
Letting
is honestly a big
accidents
deal.
happen and not getting freaked out about it.
Are you thinking about colors? I told you I wasn't going to ask you about colors, but I'm going to anyway. So, because you opened the door on the abstract, are you going to approach it from shape, color, or I don't know what else is after shape and color? There's really nothing physically.
Form.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
shape,
that.
I guess form, shape is the same. Yes, color is very important, and so and I've been kind of playing around with like fluorescence and neon, even
the Statue of David you did with the glowing halo.
Yeah, well, now I'm thinking about actually adding real neon to the art, and I'm kind of looking into how to do that. You can get these. We'll see.
But shouldn't art eternally last? Isn't that part of the nature of art, is that it will go on? And if you do neon, an actual neon, isn't that definitionally limiting?
It's not necessarily archival, no. But I thought it would be a fun element. And the painting he's referring to I call Neon David. It's the classic David, Michelangelo. But I painted the neon crown, and it's very abstract. But then I just, I've been doing other neon things. I have a series that I call my Motel series, where it's about road trips and motels and neon, and I don't know, the more I'm painting the neon, the more I start thinking about, and I've seen some artists play with neon in their art, and we'll see. I don't know.
Mary, during the break,
I'll
we're talking a little bit about like emotion and how that plays part in
Right.
your art. So, do you find yourself wanting to express a different kind of emotions, or a mix of emotions than what you've done in the past?
Yeah, I think I'm still on the same basic themes, emotional themes. I guess they're about strength, transformation, very much about women, and I am a woman, so I'm dealing with those kinds of issues of what we've gone through, and I also look towards the future, and I'm thinking about young girls and what they're having. the world that we're leaving our young people and what they're having to contend with. And I might be expressing it differently, but those are the same kind of themes that keep kind of running through. Strength, transformation, even a little anger, but that's
You
the
are
first,
Irish, Mary Catherine.
That's right. That's the first step to making change. You have to get a little pissed off about something. Can I say that?
Johnson?
Can I say?
Can we say pissed?
Okay, I just.
It's live. We're learning the live radio rules, so. All right, so if you had a chance, here's the last question before I let you go, and you have been fabulous and wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, if you were to turn your id loose,
oh boy,
what winds up on the canvas?
Well, I think you see what happens. I do let my id loose, and I think you have seen the results of it. So that's
Fair
kind
enough.
of what happens when I do that. Is that
No, that makes absolute sense. And again, if you have not seen Mary's work, it's absolutely amazing. Check it out online, and then come in. What the series that you have on the wall right now is called?
I call that my Omo collection. This series right here is based on a collaboration with a photographer named Giovanna Ariafara, and she has documented a lot of indigenous tribes all over the world. And I've been so fascinated and appreciative of her work that I thought I would boldly reach out to her and say, can I use some of your work for inspiration? And she asked me to see what I would do with it and to see my art. And she actually asked if I would be willing to do a collaboration with her. And so those pieces she has a home decor line in
She does,
a
really?
store in Bali, and she's using those images for cushions and various things. So.
It's gorgeous. It's this
Yes,
collection of
very-
tribal pieces with indigenous painting on their faces that you have recreated.
And
So,
very excited.
Mary, you are freaking amazing. Thank you for making the world such a more beautiful place.
Oh,
I
thank
seriously
you. Thanks
mean
for
that.
having me.
You are wonderful, and
Cheers.
check Mary's work out, 9 Mile Gallery at the District Edina. I have to plug. I'm sorry, it's literally my job. So, we'll be back in just a moment. We'll be speaking with Caitlin Bloomquist from Midwest Home Green Spring Media about the future of reaching out to people who have aesthetic appreciation. This is Drink in the Style. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm gonna call my buddy on the telephone and say,